One day, Kangwoo went to hell, where only the strongest survive. He stayed in hell for 10,000 years and became the Lord of Hell. Balzard, his servant, was sweating in the presence of the Supreme Lord, for he knew that he was extremely evil. Kangwoo demands silence, and everyone falls silent. Everyone kneeled before Kangwoo. Kangwoo, the Supreme Lord of the Demons, exuding his evil aura, makes all the demons tremble in fear. Balzard, kneeling, says, "Welcome back, my lord." And Kangwoo orders them to be silent because he wants absolute silence. He intensifies his ominous aura even more. All the demons tremble in fear in the presence of Kangwoo and become paralyzed. Kangwoo playfully says, "Authority of predation." And Balzard even chokes, for the power of the predation skill is so absurd that it absorbs any demon body it touches. It was with this skill that Kangwoo managed to annihilate all 7 demon archdukes. Everyone is terrified, thinking that the Lord of Demons is angry. Balzard froze, and not even a needle could pass through. Balzard feels that, finally, he will be devoured. Kangwoo says he spent 10,000 years in that place. In that hell, each day is just killing and more death, where only the strong survive. Then, Kangwoo, removing his legendary helmet, shouts, saying that the place has nothing. Balzard thought that his master was hungry and said, "We have food prepared for our lord." Suddenly, 2 demons appear carrying a huge tray. Inside it was Folkhaller, who was one of the leaders of the 7 factions of demon archdukes. "This octopus looks delicious, don't you think?" "How gross." Immediately, Kangwoo grabs the octopus and throws it at Balzard's forehead. Kangwoo says he doesn't want to eat octopus, he wants to eat. And he pauses dramatically, leading Balzard to think that he would be the main course. Kangwoo continues and says, "I want to eat kimchi stew." Everyone starts wondering what kimchi stew might be. Each demon imagines something. Some think it must be the ultimate dish, filled with meat, slime, and blood. Balzard, very excited, speaks, "Lord, which creature should we bring? The head or the entrails for you to eat?" Kangwoo lets out a big sigh and says that kimchi is not that, leaving the demons even more confused because they definitely have no idea what this kimchi stew could be. The demons keep trying to guess what the dish might be. Kangwoo, like many otakus, says that he also wants to read comics and watch soap operas. And Balzard, kneeling, exclaims that his servants cannot satisfy the Supreme Lord of Hell because they lack knowledge. After that, Balzard asks to be killed because he is an incompetent and weak servant. Kangwoo says that he also wanted love in that place. Immediately, everyone stops when they hear a delicious voice. And Lilith enters, saying, "And don't you have me?" With her perfect curves, Lilith approaches Kangwoo. Lilith is the succubus queen, and all the demons are enchanted and in love with her beauty. The demon queen is the personification of demonic beauty. Lilith says that Kangwoo already has her heart, but for Lilith, that is not enough. She wants to give herself entirely to him. In that delicious way, Kangwoo freezes just by thinking about it. The succubus started to go into heat, and Kangwoo, seeing that, orders her not to approach him. Lilith says, "Since I am the queen and you are the king, then we have to stick together and get all messy." She jumps on Kangwoo with her sticky tentacles. At that moment, one demon feels jealous, another feels envious, and another feels embarrassed by the steamy scene between the two. Now that you've seen Queen Lilith, what did you think? Isn't she really the most beautiful thing? With her 10 eyes and sticky tentacles, she says to Kangwoo, "Come, baby, my eye is wide open for you. I am even blinking." Kangwoo turns his face away to avoid seeing her blinking. He clenches his fist and says, "Look at this." Kangwoo was thinking of punching her in the head. However, Lilith misunderstands and thinks Kangwoo is interested in her blinking. Kangwoo tells Balzard and Lilith to come closer because he wants to talk about something else. Kangwoo asks if, finally, the preparations are ready. Balzard and Lilith said yes. Kangwoo says his goodbyes and says he has to leave immediately. He gives a warning. "Don't even think about following me. This is an order, not a warning, and whoever follows me, I will gut." Kangwoo, seeing that they are upset, tells them not to be like that because he will return. "Just kidding." Sometime later, we see a bizarre demon, the mage Amon, performing the ritual to open the spatial rift, which is in the middle of the statues of the demon gods. Amon says, "The portal is stabilized. The preparations are complete." Lilith cries over the departure of her beloved lord. Balzard and Lilith are crying while their master takes off all his armor. With firm steps, Kangwoo heads toward the spatial rift. Soon after, Aemon explains that, to pass through the portal without problems, the Lord must empty himself of the power he gained by killing the 7 demon archdukes. Thinking that he will finally go home after spending 10,000 years in hell, Kangwoo begins to strip himself of his demonic power. So much mana poured out of Kangwoo that it quickly filled the core of the hearts of 10,000 demons. Aemon was stunned by the absurd amount of mana his master had. The statues of Baal and the other false gods began to glow magnificently. The dimensional fabric began to crack, and Kangwoo began to think that, even if he returned home, everyone and everything he knew had probably disappeared millennia ago. But no place will be as horrible as here in the 9th hell. Although Lilith was devastated, crying, Kangwoo was already inside the portal. With a mischievous look, he glances back and sees Balzard and Lilith melting in tears. "Don't cry," said Kangwoo, slowly moving away toward the rift. Lilith said her heart was exploding from so much love. Bubbles of love, sticky and viscous. Lilith asks to go with the king, and he already looks at her with a disgusted face. He touches the terror and jumps into the portal. She says she will follow Kangwoo, and he, already at a point where he could no longer go back or be followed, starts smiling. Looking back, he waves and says that he hated meeting them. Knowing they would never meet again, he heads toward the core of the dimensions. When he arrives at the core, everything seemed normal. Kangwoo starts smiling, but then the core began to act strangely, with lightning coming out of it. Soon after, a message appeared saying that a rift had been detected in the core, and the dimensional defense mechanism, Gaia, had been activated. The core changes color from blue to red. The core reached the limit of the power it could accumulate, and the defense mechanism for all dimensions was activated. Kangwoo knows something is wrong. Soon after, the Gaia system becomes overloaded with energy and shocks Kangwoo, trying to kill him. But Kangwoo is too strong, as he has a lot of power and defense. Therefore, Gaia failed in its assassination attempt but concluded that it is impossible to kill Kangwoo. However, the Gaia system didn't give up. Since it couldn't kill him, it would try to seal his power. Very evil, this Gaia. Kangwoo gets angry and heads toward the Gaia core. He says to the core, "I am going to destroy you. Damn it." Suddenly, he feels something strange and says, "Oops, who's paying the electricity bill? Who turned off the lights? Who? Hell!" And he passes out. Moments later, he wakes up with the sunlight in his eyes. He looks around and starts to feel the breeze, the sun, and the wind. Kangwoo, after millennia, finally sees a lot of greenery. Waking up in pain, he checks his body, thinking he might have broken something. Kangwoo notices that a status window is appearing before him and wonders what it is. He checks his attributes in the window and sees that he still has the predation skill. However, most of the power was diminished by the ceiling. Kangwoo also realizes that he is at level 1. He notices that at level 10, he will gain a new skill. However, this new skill will only be revealed when he reaches level 10. Kangwoo is very pissed off because Gaia sealed his powers. He hears a noise and immediately looks back, seeing some creatures coming toward him. These creatures come at Kangwoo with great fury, aiming to kill him. Moments later, the creatures are already on top of Kangwoo. Kangwoo knows that these little creatures didn't exist on Earth and soon concludes that he is not on Earth. He prepares an evil Kamehameha, but fails miserably because he forgot that his powers were sealed. But Kangwoo is quick and thinks fast. He says, "Since I don't have magic, I'll go with my fists." Kangwoo is left with a single power. However, this power is a multiple hack because it splits into several others. It was with this single power, authority, that he dominated the entire hell. He invokes the authority of the blade and immediately slices 2 goblins, earning 2 experience points, and leveling up to level 2. However, there are still 2 more goblins to kill. Kangwoo slices them, leveling up to level 4. It only took 1 second for him to kill all 4 goblins. Kangwoo wonders what these monsters are and notices something good. Just cut them and they bleed and die. Right after that, Kangwoo tests the predation skill, completely consuming the bodies of the monsters. He notices that his demonic energy increased. Kangwoo is pissed off because he is no longer in hell. So how is there demonic energy here? After the predation feast, only bones remain. Kangwoo, thinking that he was no longer on Earth, gets very angry because he had made all the preparations without any mistake. But suddenly, he hears a scream and immediately thinks it's his imagination, thinking he's hearing things. Moments later, Kangwoo hears another scream for help, but this time, it's louder and clearer. Realizing the direction from where the sound is coming, he, using his hack, the authority of speed, takes off at an incredibly high speed. Kangwoo hadn't heard a human voice in 10,000 years, and the only female voice he'd heard during that time was Lilith's. Arriving at the location, he saw a dozen goblins surrounding someone. The person said, "Please, someone help me." When he saw her, he couldn't believe it. It was 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, and big breasts. Kangwoo exclaimed, "I can't believe there are no tentacles." Kangwoo cried with joy and immediately noticed the goblins were charging with all their fury at the girl. The beautiful girl, already hopeless, closed her eyes to see nothing anymore. After a while, with her eyes closed, she heard the sound of flesh being torn, screams, and then silence. Not understanding what was happening, she opened her eyes and saw Kangwoo finishing off the last goblin. Half a second was all it took Kangwoo to kill all 10 goblins. Approaching the beautiful girl, he extended his hand to lift her up. The beautiful, cute, busty girl thanked her savior. The moment Kangwoo touched her hand and felt its softness, he thought he was in heaven after so many millennia in hell. Kangwoo fell in love and had a love-struck expression. He felt as light as a feather, floating on clouds. The girl kindly thanked him again, saying, "Thank you so much." A while later, she asked if there was another reason he wasn't letting go of her hand. Kangwoo, not being foolish, after 10,000 years without seeing anyone, pulled the girl closer to him. Out of nowhere, Kangwoo asked if she wanted to marry him. If you've made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you can share it at least in one WhatsApp group, I'd appreciate it.